Welcome to Character Matters, Positive Psychology Applied to Leadership. This webinar will conclude our Positive Psychology in the Workplace series. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Yusra Benjeloun, Administrative Coordinator and Project Manager with the Work Wellness and Disability Prevention Institute, and I'll be co-moderating the webinar today.
Dr. Lucas Monzani. Dr. Monzani is an assistant professor of organizational behavior at Ivey Business School in Canada.
What is effective leadership? So, there are three approaches to understanding leadership and effective leadership. A first approach focuses on a person. And basically, under this approach, a leader is a person that makes the right decisions. For example, a CEO, a minister. And traditionally, the focus has been on the leader characteristics, their traits, their behavioral styles, and more recently, its character. There is a second approach to leadership that is called the relationship approach, and basically understands leadership as a relation between leaders, football coach, and followers, for example, football players here, Messi. And the focus of this approach is on the quality of the leader-follower or the leader-member exchanges. The logic behind it is that the higher the quality of the relationship, the better outcomes that both followers and leaders will receive from part of that relationship. And a third view is a systemic view in which leaders, followers, context, and other stakeholders are part of the leadership process. This approach combines person, relational, and strategic approaches to leadership into a larger whole. And for example, if you take the words of the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, when you're looking to hire leaders, you need to look for three qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. But most importantly, he affirms that if you don't have the first, if leaders don't have integrity, the inappropriate use of their intelligence and their energy will kill you, referring to your company. This leads us to the second aspect of our presentation, that we need to understand what character is. And this bridges more to the positive psychology theme of this series of webinars, because we draw heavily from the work of Peterson and Seligman and their conceptualizations of character as a set of virtues and supporting strengths. So in their model, they come up with 6 main virtues, which are wisdom and knowledge, humanity, justice, temperance, transcendence, and courage. These virtues derive from a very in-depth qualitative work that Peterson and Seligman did, exploring time, cultures, and value systems, different philosophies and religions, trying to find what is the common denominator that seemed to appear across all cultures. And they came up as a result of that work with these 6 virtues. On the other hand, these virtues are supported by character strengths. So humanity, according to Peterson and Seligman, would involve the strength of love, the strength of kindness, and the strength of social intelligence. Whereas temperance would include the strength of humility, prudence, forgiveness, and self-regulation. So character is a habit of being and can be observed in behavior, but actually it's anchored in a set of virtues, values, and personality traits in our model. Each character dimension is composed of several elements, and the elements affect the strength of the particular dimension. The character dimensions are non-negotiable and interconnected. They all work together. Otherwise, virtues may become vices. Without temperance or humility, courage becomes recklessness. Our challenge as leaders is to master these elements and dimensions and achieve leader effectiveness and drive organizational excellence. The notion of organizational excellence goes above and beyond shareholder profit. So I was saying before, a foundational assumption of our model is that everybody could be an effective leader, and everybody has the character strengths, elements, and dimensions to become leaders. But not everybody will do. Not everybody is willing to discover, activate, strengthen, and sustain their character development. Not everybody is willing to take risks and be exposed to the crucibles that leader character entails. So the first step to develop your character would be trying to discover, through introspection and reflection, your latent character strengths. So this would be the first step. You need to discover that you have the character in you. The second step is actually activating your character. So you want to put yourself in situations that remind you, prime you, and reinforce your discovery of your character strengths, and that gives you to the third step, which is actually strengthening character. That means that you want to actively work to develop the character. And the logic behind strengthening character has to do with this notion of exercise. Imagine what happens to a muscle, right? The first day you go to the gym and you do a new routine, some part of your body starts to hurt and you don't even know why it hurts, because you were exercising muscles that you didn't know that you had. Then by activating and priming yourself to go to the gym every day, you see that you start to work on strengthening your muscles on a daily basis. So this is the same thing with your character strengths and dimensions. By being humane and humble and compassionate and transcendent and courageous across a myriad of situations, you will start to find that these character strengths and dimensions start to energize you and propel you to new heights. What is absolutely critical for our model is this notion of interconnectedness. Because if you only develop your courage, then you'll find yourself making reckless decisions or emotional decisions if you don't develop temperance or humility to support your courage or your drive. Also, it may occur the opposite, that you're so humble that you become a pushover and you cannot really influence other people because you lose people's respect. So then you need the drive and the courage to support your humility and temperance. In general, the more interconnected and the more supported that these character dimensions are among each other, the more likely that you will be able to perform a high level all the time. And this leads us to the very last step of our developing character approach, is that you need to sustain the strength of character across contexts and under stress. Listen, if leadership would be easy, everybody would be doing it. So really, leadership shines in a stressful and difficult situation. One of the key concepts I would like you for our audience to retain from these presentations are the 3 C's of leadership. Leaders' competencies, character, and commitment work together to deliver sustained excellence in organizations and in life. Character is a habit of being. It's more than personality traits or values. Strength of character derives from interconnectedness. Remember about the power grid, how all these different dimensions mutually support each other and how they help each other. Character can be defined, assessed, and developed for self and others using self-report measures. Our own research is that character and competence are entangled. In order to sustain your technical performance, you need to deliver virtuous leadership. So, again, remember the words of Warren Buffett. You want integrity, intelligence, and energy. But if you don't have integrity, which we would say if you don't have character, competencies and commitment applied to destructive goals will bring your organization down. Finally, because character is not just about a person, but the importance that this person had within an organizational system, like an organization and a firm, you want to try to shape a culture of character by embedding character in their people practices, but also in their strategies and reward systems.